Hello guys, this is Goodlike, and this is a bit of an extra video to wrap up a Doom playthrough. After I finished my playthrough, just like I said, I did two things. I tried to play the classical levels and also replayed the entire campaign from start to finish in one sitting the next weekend. Now I did record both the classical levels and the playthrough. The playthrough took like 6 hours 40 minutes, so as you can imagine it wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect. I think I died quite a lot, but I think I died a lot less than before, and obviously that's quite an improvement considering I only had the kind of upgrades that I would naturally get throughout the game, and quite a few deaths were because I happened to go into insanely large battles with something like 60 health and well then just proceed to be massacred by the hordes of enemies before I could heal up to a reasonable amount. My mistakes, of course. Overall, I don't think I gained much new insight into the game as I played through it. I still believe that the game was pretty enjoyable. In fact, I did record a quick 6-minute review of the playthrough, but I was kind of tired, so I don't remember if I was very coherent in that particular time. Well, that happens after you just wake up, literally sit down and play a game for 6.5 hours. It tends to be a little bit loopy. I do remember the one factor that I can definitely give the game is that it definitely feels good to play it, especially after the first few levels. Despite playing for so long, and obviously having already beaten the game 100% basically, it never felt like I was bored or didn't want to continue because I've lost interest or something. It seems to be designed in such a way to always keep you going to the next step, and I really like that. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Though I must admit that the early levels give you so few weapons and throw at you some of the most annoying enemies, aka imps, which means I'm probably not going to be doing many more playthroughs, if any at all, of the game. Which may be fine anyway, because Doom Eternal is supposedly to come out quite soon, or who knows, maybe it's already even come out by the time this video is out, but I'm recording this at the start of year 2019. It looked pretty promising. It looked like it addressed a few of the aspects that I wanted addressed. The grappling hook could really help with the close quarters combat. There's a dodge now, kind of like Shadow Warrior, which also helps with the close quarters combat. But of course time will tell. After all, this is Bethesda, and if they fucking do something stupid like release the game only on their launcher, I'm not sure I'm going to be playing it after paying for it. I don't fucking know. I'll fucking post a listing on some fucking website and say, "Hello people, I am looking for a friend who happened to own Doom Eternal to allow me to play it, for I will not desecrate my computer with such horrendous software, rejected software designs as Bethesda's launchers." I really don't like exclusivity, especially when really it's a forced exclusivity. There's no good reason why it needs a launcher. It doesn't need one at all. So don't make it on one. But of course maybe that won't even happen, so it's just a cautionary tale, and for whoever's watching to not be surprised that, for example, I don't play the goddamn game for like, I don't know, a few years, potentially, until they release on a reasonable platform. So yeah, I'm overall very satisfied with the game experience. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same about the classical levels. The classical levels are a bit of a shit show. Not every single level is like that, but they're clearly not designed for the new Doom experience. What do I mean by that? There's two particular things that really mess things up, and that is the explosive barrels and pinkies. The explosive barrels have an insane radius. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you fucking can see the shape of a barrel and you fucking touch it, it'll probably rip half of your health apart. It's just that insane. Half of the levels are just don't stand next to the barrel before you blow it up, rather than play the game, which it just makes no sense because a lot of parts of the game are quite tight corridors and there's still plenty of barrels there, which can be very dangerous. And the pinkies obviously also have frontal armor. That's something that I believe they didn't have in the original games, and as a result, placing them in certain areas has, disastrous results of basically you dying, because there's just almost no way for you to avoid them, and you can't kill them because they are armored at the front, so you just can't get behind them in a reasonable manner most of the time. And a lot of it's due to the design of the level, which is completely ripped from the classic game. I think a lot of this could have been remedied if you kept all your upgrades and all your weapons from the game. As you would expect when you're playing a random level, you keep everything. So if you were immune to barrel damage and you had all the weapons, this wouldn't be an issue. You could, for example, use things like decoys to counter the pinkies much more readily. Although it still would be a pain in the butt, but I think just the fact that you would no longer have to worry about barrels would give you a lot more space to move in certain areas, and it would make everything make more sense. It feels like they just wanted to port in things from the original game, make it more authentic, but in doing so they kind of just ruined the balance, and I won't lie, I kind of gave up about halfway through the levels. I beat like 5 or 6 of them, and then I'm all like, I can't be bothered with this next one, because it's like a room with like 5 fucking barrels, each spaced out in a weird way, and at least 2 pinkies, as well as a plethora of other mobs pop in out from 2 corridors on opposite side, sandwiching you in between them. I tried it a few times, but also the fact there are no checkpoints in the levels means that you have to replay the whole level slowly and annoyingly with the very few weapons that you're given at the start. And it just... After playing the actual game, I just felt really, really disappointed with the experience. And thankfully, to some degree, some part of the recording got slightly out of sync. Horribly out of sync. There was like a portion of recording where it got stuck. I think I could salvage it and fix it, but I decided instead to just record this quick overview instead. Trust me, you didn't miss anything important. So to summarize, classic levels suck dick. The actual game is pretty amazing. As far as I can see, the sequel looks to be even better yet. Now let's just hope it's released on fucking Steam. So thank you guys for watching this Let's Play, and I hope I can get to see you in Doom Eternal. See you later.